All right, thanks, Sophia. Turning back now to Kohberger. Before today's sentencing, I talked to legal expert David Leroy about what he expects in the courtroom, and I wanted to get his perspective on the controversial plea deal, among other things. Here's what he had to say. A murder sentencing is a chance for the victims' families to address the guilty party face to face.
Nobody wins in a murder case. We can't bring these young people back. But there are some cathartic opportunities for feeling better or getting something off your chest or expressing for the first time in public the anger and angst that one feels as a parent.
The plea deal Kohberger made to get off death row is a source of controversy in this case. The Consalves family in particular was highly opposed.
Death penalty is the ultimate in providing justice for my daughter. And I don't know what kind of father wouldn't want the most for their child.
Leroy says he understands that anger, and he says the deal could have had more strings attached.
There was a singular moment in this case when Mr. Kohberger could have been forced to stand before the public, to stand before the judge, to stand before the victim families, and explain in some way, in his own words, in writing or orally, why and how this happened. He had that opportunity best at the guilty plea hearing, which is behind us.
Kohberger does have a chance to speak at his own sentencing, but Leroy says it's unlikely.
My expectation is that the defense probably will not encourage him to make a statement, and that he is, if sufficiently maladjusted socially, not particularly inclined to do so.
As for where we go from here, the next question is where Kohberger will spend his remaining years. Leroy weighs in.
I expect him to be in solitary confinement for several reasons. Number one, the nature of this crime and how heinous it was and how high profile it was. Secondly, he seems to be socially aberrant and not fitting well with society, and I would not expect him to fit well in that society. And finally, I believe that he might be a potential target for inmate injury if he were in the general population.
IDOC tells us Kohberger will go through a reception and diagnostic unit, after which IDOC will determine in the next week or two his appropriate housing, placement, and privileges. And with a case as high profile as this, Leroy says security will certainly be high.